Happy New Year, everybody, man. 2024 is already here. It's crazy. That time's just flying by. Really appreciate everybody that's been a part of this during this season. I know the Bengals season hasn't been what everybody was hoping it would be. But again, this is something that has been good for me, and I really appreciate everybody interacting and really do appreciate all the love. If you get a chance, go to Chatterbox Sports and follow some of the other shows too. Off the Bench in particular, that's on 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Weekdays on the same channel. Tom Brenneman hosts that, has all the guys on there. So you'll be able to, get your Cincinnati sports fix every day there. Box to Lunch, I believe, is a subscription-based one that they have after that. But a lot of these things are fun. There's Chatterbox Reds, there's Chatterbox Bengals after the games. There's some golf content on there. So if you get a chance, go to Chatterbox Sports, check it out. Been great to us. We're here at Chatterbox Clicker, and just wanted to throw that out there before we get started. So looking at the Bengals and Chiefs. So the Bengals went to Kansas City, lost 25-17. Bengals offense struggled, if you want to say, but it wasn't that it was a lack of trying to do what was probably right. Their first the first drive they had was 15 plays. It took up 8.5 minutes. One of the best things you can do to Kansas City is keep Mahomes off the field, and they did that. So I think that was a big deal for that. Now, they did give up 6 sacks. The offense did. Browning had a very average day for him, obviously. 197 yards passing. He had a touchdown, had a rushing touchdown. Mixon had 65 yards, 4 receptions for 22 and a touchdown. Chase Brown was barely used. He touched the ball 5 times for 28 yards. Jamar Chase was doubled the entire game, which actually helped out in other areas, which I was talked about. And then Bengals defensively, they didn't let them beat them too badly just with Mahomes, but there was some coverage issues, a blown coverage, some guys getting beat in man coverage, and just some missed tackles. And again, what I'd like to do here is start with the offense. So we'll go ahead and get started with looking at the Cincinnati Bengals offense. First thing I want to talk about is what Browning did with his legs. And this is kind of what Kansas City did all day. And you'll see here, you've got kind of 2 guys here, 1 guy here, you got a guy here, got a guy here and a guy here, and then a guy in the middle. And it's like they're playing 3-over-2, with your help in the middle. This is kind of a version of cover 2, if you want to say, or quarters, cover, quarter, half. But they were always going to have 2 guys over the top of Chase. But again, when they back out of here like this, and this was 3rd and 8, his eyes are going here. Here comes Browning. And again, he takes a pretty good shot right here. They gave him the first down, but I mean, you really don't want to be taking a shot like that. I think he was attempting maybe to slide, because I don't think that's him attempting to run somebody over. But when he drops back right here, and again, you got Drew Sample in the backfield. This is what I call a 5-0, that they're one-on-one matchups across the board, and they're doing that because they want to get, guys like Jones and those guys. And you can see right here, Drew Sample comes over. He gives an eye here to him to try to help out. That's smart. And he gets the first down. Now I want to point this out in protection a couple times. I want you to watch Joe Mixon here. It wasn't just him. It was Chase Brown, a couple guys, but they were using that. They were using that chip over here. And you can see over here on this side too, the tight end is here and he's chipping. And that allows the line to solidify the inside first and then worry about, the edges, because they didn't want to get run around, which they actually did get run around later on. But again, if you look here, watch them actually just straight up double chase. So they're running brackets basically across the board. Again, it's kind of that 3-over-2. Got him on the back, got him helping out over here because you got a tight end right there. But really, these 2 guys are taking care of number 1 and Chase right there. So I was asked a question before the game. Does a 75% Chase, is that better than no Chase? It absolutely is. I think a 25% Chase is better than no Chase on the field, because it does this. It takes coverages away from the defenses, but they're taking him out of the game. They were not going to let Chase win that. And again, here goes Browning right here. Steps up, runs, slides this time. But you can see here again, you got basically you just got a 4-man rush. You got double team, basically a double team and a single block right here. And there it goes, getting something done right there. Next one. Now this is max protection. Joe Mixon's gonna come over here, I believe, and help on the tight end. He's gonna help chip the tight end right here. But boom, that's a tough block. You got a tight end blocking a known rusher, defensive end. But he gets that. Now this is kind of these are go routes, and he's kind of running like a middle route here, and nothing's there. They got it covered. It's covered, and you didn't get it's max protection, so you've lost those two other receiving threats right there, and Mixon and the tight end. So Mixon's coming over here, and again you've got good decent protection. Jonah Williams is getting bulled back, but he gets him and pushes him by. And then he ends up running here for a pretty good gain. So again, it was good to see Browning still using it. Now this is the touchdown. I want you to keep this in mind though. This play is going to be almost not the exact same play, but it's pretty damn close to what Kansas City runs on 4th and 1 at the end of the game, and it's really like a roll. So that's kind of like your fake. Mixon's in the flat. You got a guy coming here to the corner. And then, again, he's just kind of rolling out this way. He's actually looking, he's looking 1 to 2. And I mean, honestly, he probably could have thrown that right here. Probably could have. But again, if you would have told me that a quarterback was going to get in right here, I wouldn't have believed you. I thought he was going to be stuffed right here when I was watching it on live television, but good for Browning, man. Good for him. Good finish. But again, that's him using his legs. So he did some good things with his legs. And, there's potential for this guy. I mean, the guy's done everything you've asked him to do. And I mean, didn't win this game. I get it. Now, I called this Browning the playmaker. I think this is just him making some plays. So they're going to blitz here, and it's really versus a naked. So he's blocking here, and he's supposed to leak out late. And you can see right here, Sample realizes there's a dude blitzing here because he's faking here, and then he's supposed to do this. Well, he's not going to get out of there. So he realizes that he gets out quicker, and then he just dumps it right here. You saw him do that in one of the games earlier this year. I think it was Jacksonville. And, for him to realize that when he turned his head, okay, crap, I got a guy in my face, and to get the ball out, first down. This was 3rd and 2, motion over. This is going to be like a little out route, go route here, and I believe these guys are kind of running like a, backside levels type route over here on this side. And he looks here, it's taken away. Now, he's going to end up scrambling over here, and this is where I believe last week he was throwing the ball. He was running over here, and he threw it over here and then threw the interception to Pittsburgh. Well, he's running right here, and he's actually probably thinking, I'm about to throw it away, and then the tight end just kind of comes open, so makes a play there. Good play. Tanner Hudson's going to be a good player. I got some stuff on him coming up here in a little bit. Now, some pass scheme things. So why do teams put this running back way out here and then running back in the backfield? There's a couple reasons, but the main reason is they want to see if he runs back in here, does somebody run back in with him? And they can say it's man coverage. Or he runs back in and nobody really runs back in. Everybody just bumps. And that will give you a zone tip. So right now they know it's zone. Right now he goes, hey, you know what? I'm going to can this play. They may have had mesh called, and they canned it. And what that means, they changed the play, and they end up going to like a wrap concept with a little clear out here. And it's the same kind of thought they've done the last few weeks of that high-low. Well, there's nobody in that area, so just dump it right there. So good call for them to do man zone, can it to a zone beater, get the ball inside there. So Now this is Chase versus brackets coverage. Okay, so this is going to be and again, you can see now it's kind of like a 4/3 type of thing now. So they're trying their hardest not to let them have what they need. And you can see right here, even up top with Higgins, they're going to end up, playing 2/1, 2/1 here. But he sits right here. Well, there's nothing there. He doesn't feel like he can throw that ball, so he scrambles. Now watch Chase just kind of come right back in that same exact spot, catch it and go. But this again, I think this is something that I mentioned before. Teams have got to practice this. This isn't something that just happens. Teams have got to practice this, and they do a good job of scramble drill with the Bengals. It's something I know Burrow has been really good at. That's what Mahomes is really good at. But you see, you find a way to get the ball to your best player when they've got him, basically double teamed the whole game. So that was one way of getting it to him. This is a Max Pro, and when I say max protection in my mind and with a drop back is you got seven protectors. So you only got 3 guys out. I know in play action, Max Pro could mean 8 guys, but in drop backs, I say Max Pro is 7 guys. Means you've got a tight end and a back or 2 backs or something like that. Now this is going to be, they're running like a deep out right here, and then Higgins is running here. So as you can see, the first down line's right there, and this is 3rd and 9, and it's basically they ran that route a minute ago that I showed you. That was over on this side, and it was like that. Well, this is just a deeper version of it. But what happens is he says, you know what, I'm going to give Higgins a shot. And he gets held right there. So they're going to throw the flag right there. And again, that's a 30-yard penalty. Is that the way you want to get yardage? Maybe not, but why not take a shot every once in a while? So again, Max Pro, now here's a double team. So cover 2 double team. So they're going to actually roll out of here. So he's going to be here. He's going to stay down low. This is Chase. Chase is going to run a bench route. So he's going to kind of inside release, push up, and he's going to run like that, almost like a corner, but it's rolled off. It's running towards the bench. Those are the benches up there. So he's going to run towards the bench. That's why it's called a bench route. And but you can see they're doubling him really. They got a guy low, they got a guy high, and Browning just drops it right in between them. So good throw by Browning, good route right there. Again, that's something that when you see that happening, you could take a shot. Now, if that guy drops too fast and he jumps up and intercepts this ball, obviously I think everybody's saying something different right there. But big play. Sometimes it's the NFL, man. You gotta make the plays. I want to point this out on this next play about Tanner Hudson here. He's gonna be right here. He's gonna run a choice route. So he's gonna run he could either break it out, he could sit it, or he could break it in. I want you to watch this choice route right here on 50. Gives him that little gets him to go that way. Boom, choice route. I think this is something this guy can do. We should do this with Tyler Eifert, back when I was with the Bengals. And Tyler Eifert was just really, really good at it. And that's very Eifert-ish right there from when Tyler was playing at a high level. So I think that's something to look forward to if you're talking about what these guys can do. But again, I mean, that's a heck of a choice route. And I think Tanner Hudson's going to show some potential here. He is showing his potential, but you can see from this angle too. I mean, he breaks him off. The homeboy's all the way out the screen right there. So good job by him on that one. This is screen to Chase Brown. This is pretty impressive. So in all reality, this guy's blitzing off the edge. So Chase Brown, he's kind of if this were to be protection, he would be responsible for that guy. Well, he's not going to get to him. So what this is called is a bluff. He's going to get there. He's going to let him keep going. He's just going to bluff right past him and catch it right past the blitz. You want to throw these screens into blitzes because look at this. In all reality, you're not blocking any of them dudes. And this was good right here by, I'm not sure what my man right here is doing, but he gets back out, helps the blocking, and now 1, 2, basically 2 missed tackles. It seemed like a lot more, but 1. I'll give them that one. 1, 2, 3 on a big man. and then got out of this thing. So, I mean, that's a 19-yard play on what probably should have been more like 8 or 9. So that's what, I mean, Chase Brown, I'm just trying to give some positivity to this offense because there's some players in this offense that I think are going to be pretty good players for this team going forward. Looking at the next play, this was a screen to Joe Mixon, and this was early in the game, and this one got called back because of a legal man downfield. So in the NFL, the line of scrimmage is right here, okay? You're allowed basically a yard down the field is what they tell you. Now, does that always get called? No. So, it's kind of up to, one of these guys up here making the call, but if you watch Volson right here, Volson's right there. When the ball's thrown right now, he's 2 yards down the field. He might be 1, but that's what somebody saw that, and I guarantee you, if you asked, there's somebody on that sideline, Kansas City sideline, that's telling them before the game, y'all need to watch for their guys being downfield on screens. But again, it's a good screen. Look who threw it. Look, the flag comes in from over here. The flag's down here. I don't know if y'all can see that or not, but that flag's flying in from the Kansas City sideline. So you don't think that was influenced by those guys in red? I'm pretty sure it was. But again, that's a ticky-tack foul, man. Very ticky-tack. But it got called. Big play taken away. Screen game was working. All right, Joe Mixon. Let's talk a little bit about the run game, what they did here. Joe, so they're running duo, and Joe's going to press this thing down in here. Well, when everybody kind of pushes down in here, he's going to bounce this thing around, and then he's going to be on 1 or 2 people. If he blocks him, he'll be on him. If the receiver pushes up to block him, he'll be on him. And it's been either way. And you can see Tyler Boyd decides, boom, I want to get that guy. Break a tackle, take a guy with you. It's a 9-yard gain. So pretty good bounce. You can see it from the backside. Push it down in there. That guy peeks down inside, bounce it around the outside. You'd love to see him, run out of that, but 32's on his back there. It's kind of hard to get rid of a guy that's got you wrapped up from behind there like that. Same type of play. Bounced it around, gets vertical. See how he starts to do this, and he realizes, man, I need to go that way. And when he does that, good play. And again, they could run this play a lot more than they do, because you see right here when Sample steps down, he kind of tries to cross his face, and he just takes him down with him. But again, a couple good runs there. Now this is I mentioned earlier about they were doing chip blocks, and that's a pretty good chip right there. Oh, get that rib meat right there, rib shot, and then nothing's really open. I mean, yeah, you might be able to throw it here, but you can see Browning's eyes are over on this side. So when he gets to the point where he knows he doesn't have anything to throw, I mean, there's nobody here, so get the ball to Joe Mixon and let him get the first down. But you can see the chip block from behind here. These guys don't like that. I mean, obviously, you go in the backyard and have somebody go chip you right under the armpit like that, it probably doesn't feel real good. And then the last one I got on Joe Mixon here, this was the play that the Bengals scored on. They're going to run like a glance, if you want to call it, like a little short post route. But what's happening is he's man, and when Sample runs that, he's going to pick off Joe Mixon's guy. And that's not a pick route by any means. That's just, it just slowed him down. He's not trying, technically, yes, he is trying to get in his way during his route, but there's no way that he stopped and said, okay, I'm going to pick you. And he ran right through him. So, it's hard for defensive players. Now, this was 4th and 1. I got asked by a good friend of mine, and won't name names, but he said on 4th and 1, Browning canned the play, and then they ran right into all of that. The only thing I could say, and again, I'm not in their building, whatever they had called for the first play might have been worse than this. You know what I'm saying? So this was maybe the lesser of evils right here, but so they're going to run duo, okay? And again, right now you've got D lineman, linebacker. So really should be 1, 2, 3. You're going to have to run away from that guy over here. Should be here, 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 here. And really you're kind of all working down towards that. And then he's trying to clear off here. But Jonah Williams oversteps just a little bit. It looks to me like Orlando Brown's doing what he's doing, but these two thought that they were going out to this guy. They thought Orlando Brown was going out, 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 which leaves nobody on him. And, again, I'd be hard-pressed to sit there and say some people all year have been saying Mixon just doesn't have it. I'm not sure what running back in the history of football is going to make that move and get out of there. Maybe Barry Sanders. We'll see. Anyway, that was the 4th and 1. That's what happened. All right, sacks, 3rd and 17. So this is a sacks on third. This is 3rd and 17, fourth quarter. All these are in the fourth quarter, and a few of these are back-to-back plays. Now, again, max protection. Okay, so they're really running what could be like it's really go routes, and again, it's that kind of middle read right here, and you're trying to find a way to get, and then you got some check downs here, but again, this is 3rd and 17, so he's holding the ball. He's trying to wait for something to come open, and because he holds the ball, I put this on Browning. Because he holds the ball, again, dump it right here. Just get what you can. It's better than taking a sack, And Orlando Brown, runs this guy up the field, so Sample leaves. Easy. Throw the ball now. Now, should he stay on that guy longer? Sure, absolutely. But I put that on Browning holding the ball. Now, 2nd and 5. Okay, so they are cross-keying this. So actually the slide of the line is going this way. They're going to set him over here. But Mixon's got to come over here and block. And you see that right there. See that kind of where his legs go big? He hesitates. This is what I would call you go and trap this guy. You run full speed and you catch him from the side. And you just knock him somewhere over there. And you'll see it from this angle. Like he should come over here, bam, and just trap him out. No hesitation, 0 hesitation. See, he hesitates, and when he hesitates, he does this little move. He gets his hips out of the way. But if he would have come over and if Mixon would have come over full speed and just, bam, blasted him right there as he came around 61, I'm not sure he would have gotten beat on that one. So again, that one's on Joe. This is the very next play, though. Travion Williams is right here. Okay, so Travion Williams is going to miss this edge block. So they're blitzing a guy off the edge. You got him trying to set back out so he doesn't get back out to him, but you can see he lunges, he gets pulled down, and that's what causes that. But you can see, too, and this is what's crazy to me. Watch the wall that's built that ends up coming back here. This wall right here should never be run around. If you're going to build a wall like that, set back out here and join the wall. You see what I'm saying? But instead, it also gets run around. Yeah, the play that hurts it is you've got that happening over here. But the fact that this wall should hold up. He should be able to go over here because you should have guys blocking. You should be able to step up. Max protection, but the effort that Kansas City is just given right there is high level. This is the late in the game. Now this is late in the fourth quarter, and Orlando Brown is just going to get run around right here. And again, that's it's late in the game. These guys have their ears pinned back, and that's why that's the tough thing about that. And should he still block him? Sure. And there's that hip drop tackle right there. Everybody keeps talking about that hip drop. See how he grabs him and then he throws his feet up in the air and he drops his hips. Hip drop. Shows its face again. Very next play though. Cordell Volson oversets on a pinch and not much you can do. So right here again, max protection. These guys are blocking here. These two, really, it's hard to say. He's here. He should be here. These two are here, and then Travion Williams is helping on anything else that may come over here. So with that being said, Volson oversets, gets beat. I used to tell running backs you're a fireman back here. And if you saw that fire, just take that fire out right now. Just, even if it keeps you from doing your thing, if there's something that's an immediate threat that happens, go ahead and try to take that out. I know he's not looking for that, and that's probably one of the best players in the league right there, and Chris Jones. But again, that's those were the issues with the sacks from the other day. So again, not a clean day by the offense. They did try to get back to what was working, the screens, the run game, just couldn't get the consistency of it throughout the game. Now looking at the Bengals defense had 2 sacks. Now one of them was Mahomes ran out of bounds at the line of scrimmage. It counted as a sack, but they hit the quarterback 5 times. The 2 safeties, Jordan Battle, 8 tackles, 6 solo, but he had a really big missed tackle. Dax Hill, 6 tackles, 5 solo, and a tackle for loss. So looking at the defense for the Bengals, it's hit or miss on this. I mean, there's going to be probably a lot more. I hate to say the word negative, but probably a lot more negative in this than there is positive. But I mean, the positive stuff, it's just like nothing was consistent enough, really, But again, this is 2nd and 8. It's in the third quarter, and this is a broken play. And again, if you watch Mahomes here, Mahomes is going to do his thing, and he ends up finding that, this guy's sitting here in the route concept. And then he looks and he's like, I'm going to scramble. He's like, well, shoot, there ain't nobody here. So he just stays where he's at. You watch this from the end zone. Mahomes' eyes are over here the entire time. He was trying so hard to get the ball to 87 in this game, but he just couldn't get it done. And again, broken plays. That's how they make their money in Kansas City, broken plays. And that's okay. Now, if you remember the play that the Bengals scored on, they motioned the guy over here, and he came under here, rolled out, and he ran. I mean, it's dang near the exact same thing, except you just don't have that guy coming underneath. You left your big old dude that came in motion right here, but same play. Now, they got to make that play. This is 4th and 1, so they got to get to the line, basically. They got to get to that line. You've got Mahomes hemmed up with his arm in the air right there on the 37-yard line. Got to make that play. 4th and 1, big conversion. You can see it from the end zone right here. Against that same thought process, roll out. Now he's looking to throw. He's looking to Pacheco, but you got a guy sitting outside of him, so he's not going to throw it to him. And he finally because look, I mean, his arm's in the air. You got a chance to take him down. Just didn't get it done. Talk about some run defense, not necessarily the good run defense, but this is the first offensive play of the game for Kansas City. If you remember, the Pittsburgh Steelers did this last week. You motion a guy over, and they're going to move. They're going to bump. Well, that's B.J. Hill. Well, now you're taking their best D lineman, and now you're putting basically, 600 on 300. Excuse me. With a little help from this pulling guard who's actually looking for this guy. And the movement right there, this is the first offensive play. And you can see right there, when they got him to move over, they can get that pushed back. And again, then you've got 62 pulling around for Pratt, and these two right here doubling back to Wilson. And again, battle right there. He's trying to fill. Now go make the play. All right, this is the same play. This is punch, one back power. So again, you can see here, doubling back to him. They're pulling around for him. So they don't get nearly as much movement, but there's nobody in this gap right here, and you can see Battle's trying to go back here to play cover 2. Well, he's going to come up right in here and then try to fill back up in there and make the play. And you don't have any help over here. So when you come downhill on him like right here, because you've got people coming from that side. And again, Pacheco puts his head down, and that was a big run right there. Now this is wide zone, outside zone, and actually this is played very, very well except for one guy. And you'll see here they're going to slip right through there. Boom. Okay. Now watch this from this angle. You got a guy in this gap. You really got a guy for that gap. You got a guy in this gap. You got a guy in this gap. You got a guy in this gap. Problem is, he gets hooked, and Zach Carter gets hooked. Zach Carter should be in this gap. He should be in that gap. He's in this gap. Everybody should be there. But because initially, see if you see right here, see he's got that gap. He should be on that side of number 74. But when he gets caught up, that's where that gap is, and that's how you hit it right there. So again, it just takes one. But everybody else, you got everything. That's exactly what you're trying to do as an offensive line too, is get those guys moving. And you hope that the back can find a crease. On defense, you're trying to clog all these holes and not allow penetration and penetration into your defense. But you'd like to just have everybody in a gap, and then the back kind of runs into everybody, and then somebody makes a tackle. But again, that's what happened there. Just one guy out of a gap. Now, good run defense. Let's talk about the wide zone. Watch this from this angle. So we keep talking about B.J. Hill. Well, he's been getting double teamed back to him, and people have just been doing that. Now watch what happens when he gets his hands on a single block. Get off of me. I'm going to make the play. But again, look at the defense. Gap, 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 gap. They got it gapped out. That's good run defense. That's what you're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Just like I said on the last one, there are no open gaps anymore because everybody's in their gap they're supposed to be in. You might, I know they're not looking at it. It doesn't really affect the play, but that might be holding. I'm not an expert at officiating or anything like that, but I'm pretty sure that's a hold. Now, talk about coverage, okay? And I'm going to get back into kind of some bad stuff here. This was the touchdown, but they're playing like a brackets coverage again down here, and what they're doing is they're taking Logan Wilson out here because they're thinking, at least that's what I'm assuming they're thinking that he's going to run to the flat. So Logan Wilson goes out here to the flat. Well, what they do is they box this bunch. So there's a bunch of guys here. When a guy goes underneath, he goes with him. If he goes here, he goes with him here. When he goes out, he goes with him. So there's different ways to play it, but again, you can see they've got it pretty well covered. And then what happened is he just, instead of going to the flat, he cut it right back up inside, and all their eyes are away from him, and good play call. But again, that's what happens when you have four guys outside the box and one guy backside. It's just tough. It's tough on any coverages. Now these next two are drops, and they counted as incompletions. They counted as 0 in the box score. But right here, this is cover 3, so they're playing. He's got the deep third. He's got anything deep, basically outside the numbers right here, if you want to say. And it's just slightly overthrown, and that's a big play right there. If they connect on that, that might be a touchdown. Who knows? But I'm just saying that right there is that, he gets turned. Again, it kind of happened the other day too. It happened in Pittsburgh, almost exactly the same. He got turned, and then they ended up running something right behind him, and just got to be careful with that. This next one, though, this one might have been a touchdown had he actually. This one hits him in the hands, but you'll see right here they're running. It's kind of a mesh type of thing. So he's running over here, he's running here, and then 11's going to come running underneath. And watch DJ Turner. He's actually going to run into one of his own guys right here. And there's a good chance that that's a big play. I would assume one of these guys would make the tackle here, but that still would be a big play. Again, this was 3rd and 3. So that's for sure if he catches that a conversion. So again, man coverage getting picked off. You can't be on the same levels. And what I mean by he's trying not to be on the same level. I'm sorry, right here. He's trying not to be on the same level. He's trying to get around him. But when I say you're on the same level, that's what happens when you're on the same level. You run into each other. Naked slide. Now this is tough 2 versus man. So look. Here comes 4 running across. Well, 22 runs with him. So, 90% of the time that's man. But what happens is, again, he's going to run. Remember, Jordan Battle made a play against Pittsburgh on this same play. But so he's going to have to run from all the way over here to go take care of that. And again, runs into his own guy. So not only did he, not cover his guy, he runs into his own guy who then, gets slowed up to make the tackle. And that's why that one happened there. Now this is a screen versus man coverage. And you'll see here, he's covering the tight end. Logan Wilson's got the back. And what happens in man coverage is if you know it's man, the guy who usually comes out and kicks is going to have to go get that guy as fast as he possibly can without being illegally down the field, apparently, but he's not here. But you can see he's got him man. Well, everybody else is in man coverage. All your other cover players are out of there. So once he makes that move and he starts to get over here, now your free safety, who's right here, takes an angle like this. And, right now you should just know, look, you've got guys, you got blockers now. Go ahead and get back out here, kick that thing back into where everybody's coming to. But he jumps back inside, and then that's his Jordan Battle. And you've got just ran yourself out of the play. And then, again, I don't know what this is. I think guys are so scared to hit people out of bounds and get penalties and fines and things like that. But make the tackle right there, because there's another 4 or 5 yards right there. Just make the tackle. So, those things are showing up. And it's not just the Bengals. That stuff's showing up all over football. It's showing up in college football, showing up in high school football. But you'll see it right there. It's like he pulls up. Like he doesn't want to go hit him. Just go ahead and get him down. Now, this was again, I'm not in the building. I'm just going off of what I'm seeing here. But they're blitzing here, and it looks to me like he's rolling back. He's rolling out. He should be rolling over the top because this guy stops right here. He's going to run past, and he's sitting right here, and there's 0 people back here. So I'm assuming that Dax Hill should be rolling to the half over here. See how they've got 2 guys in the same spot right here? And there's nobody over there. Because if you do this, if you have him here, you have him here, take him away from here and put him over here, that's pretty good coverage. And he's right over here. They ain't throwing that ball. But anyway, to me, I think that's just a blown coverage. Again, I'm not in the building, but just going off of my knowledge of just what I've seen in the past of those kind of coverages and those blitzes, seems like that's what happened. Now the last 3 here, these are decent here. We talked about this. We talked about this last week. Kind of a E hesitation T right here with Hubbard and B.J. Hill, and here they go running it again. They actually get a quarterback hit right there. Get a hurry, get the ball kind of knocked down. But again, these 2 guys have got a pretty good relationship going with this stunt. And again, it's pretty well used in the last few games, so good for them. This is late in the game. They're going to actually blitz, I believe, these 2 guys. And I'm sorry, I was wrong. Bring him out. They're blitzing him inside. The thing is right now he's leaving on a route. He's really blocking. He's got to somehow or another get to blocking him. So either they got to bring him down here to block him here, because if you watch, you got 2 guys double teaming here and not one person on Dax Hill. And again, that's just a miscommunication and protection, but it allowed for the quarterback hit. But you can see here, really, he should probably step down, take him. Yeah, that puts a receiver on a D end right there, which is not what you want. But again, good for the Bengals, man. They figured out a pattern. To do it, and it worked. So now this is not intentional grounding because he is trying to throw it to that guy. Now, this was really close to being very close to being a backwards pass here when it was also, I know it's forward, but it was close, it could have been, had it been a step or 2 different. Last one I got, 3rd and 7. This was in the second quarter, but this is Hendrickson just doing his thing. Run around him, sack, fumble, big turnover right there. But if you watch here, watch 64's hands are going to be very high. And he's going to come by and swat him, and then he's going to dip underneath it. It's a heck of a drawing I just did right there. But see how high his hands are? When his hands are that high, he swats them as much as he can, and he's going to dip under him. Dip and rip. That's a dip, rip. That's the rip of his arm, or the dip, rip. But, again, I'm going to say this to any young football players out there watching. Watch what he does. He's coming from the back side. He's going to secure the tackle, but swipe down. Swipe high to low because you could get that ball out. And there you go. If you just come around, you're just trying to, tackle him, you may not hit that ball. Come high to low. Hit that ball out of there. And you can create turnovers. Turnovers are big. Sacks are huge. Turnovers are even bigger. But that's kind of the gist of the defense from the other day. Bengals obviously got eliminated with the loss and a few other things that happened. So they're playing Cleveland at home, 1:00 on Sunday. Again, it's one of those games. Just it's good to have a winning record. Because I don't think 9-8 versus 8-9, your draft status isn't going to be that much different. And where you're at in the draft, it's not going to be the player order. It's not like you're in the top 5. So I think these guys are still going to be playing. And last home game, obviously, my whatever my thoughts are don't really matter. But I would say if you're a Bengals fan, you've been a Bengals fan all year, go out and support those guys, man. They're still playing, and they're trying to do everything they can. So I wish everybody out there a very happy New Year, and I appreciate everybody for being a part of this. You can follow me, my socials there at the bottom, at Coach Kyle Caskey. And again, Chatterbox Sports, please go visit the YouTube page. There's all kinds of shows on there. Follow, like, subscribe. Please like the stream of this and share it with as many people as you can. And again, wish everybody out there a very blessed 2024, and make it the best one you've ever had. All right, man. See you later.